7, 8 weeks up there?
I had just in case,
Okay, so
because we've already worked it out with the aquatics department for that closure for that period, because we also have the slide that we need to address at next month's meeting.
okay, so part of that time is also with the slide issue.
Yeah, it'll be with
The
that.
other part of this, okay, which is outside. That'd be next month or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. The second question is for, I'm not at all familiar with fiberglass type stuff. If there is an issue where something's cracked or there's a localized damage of some sort, someone hits it with a baseball bat or something, I don't know, something happens to it. Can you do spot repair on fiberglass?
We could repair. I mean, of course, we'd have to drain it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you still got to drain the pool,
Yeah.
but the point is you don't have to do the whole pool again. You can actually.
We could patch the sections.
It is you can do potential localized patching and
Yeah.
stuff, so you don't have to do a full size thing.
Yeah.
And the last question I have for you is, have you talked to any? Because I don't think any of us have any experience here. I mean, within the staff for fiberglass, have you talked to any other district or location that has this type of shell in their fiberglass shell in their pool?
I tried to get a hold of City of Red Bluff, but I had no luck getting a hold of them because they had a pool that was done about, I think, 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how other people.
And there's a pool. It's at a apartment complex here in town that the contractor did, and I checked it out, and it was 2 years old, and it looked like it was brand new. It was.
But you're saying they had fiberglass in there?
Yeah, they had fiber. I mean, it's right here. I could give you guys the address. And you could see if they'll let you in. I'm sure we can get permission to go if you'd like to see it.
No, I'm just curious if we have any other history on that. Okay, thank you.
Well, the contractor that I talked to, he's a local contractor that does this, and he actually has done the facility. He's done I think both bases, Magoo and Wainimi, their pools. And
With fiberglass, you mean?
yeah, and he said that the one at, I think it's Wainimi, is over 20 years old, and he hasn't had a call back to redo it. So it's
Okay, thank you.
yeah. Any other questions?
He asked my question about downtime, so I have no
Okay.
questions.
Yeah, I have one. This was many years ago. A friend of ours up in Visalia put in a pool and had fiberglass. And the one thing about the fiberglass surface at that time, and maybe the technology is better now, but the surface was really slick on the inside. And I'm just wondering, have they talked about what the surface is like? Do they do anything to kind of roughen the surface so you have a little better grip?
They have an additive for so it's non-slip.
Okay.
And they'll do that on all the areas that are like, that are probably like 5
Stairs and things like
5
that.
feet
Yeah.
and stairs, of course.
Okay.
They have ways to address that, and it's the method that they do now is a little different than how they used to do. They used to do sheet, like by sheets and glass it kind of like they're glassing a boat or whatever. But now it's all done with pneumatic guns. They spread the resin on. They shoot the fiberglass right into the resin. Roll the fiberglass into the resin, and then allow that to cure for 24 hours. Come back. Then they add some other coats, and then they have a final top coat. So they're getting more fiberglass into the resin than typically how they used to do it in the past. So the methods has changed quite a bit over the past 20 years and how they do that.
Yeah. Well, that'd be my only concern. I don't want people walking in the stairs and slipping out, having their feet slide out from underneath them. But
Yeah.
so okay, that's all.
Yeah, we'd be changing out the tiles in my specs. I have it so we're changing out the tiles on the stair treads.
Oh, so the stairs would be tile, not.
Well, there's like slip resistant treads or tiles on there that are embedded within that stair tread. So
Okay.
and then they would put that coating on, of course.
All right, thank you.
Great. Bob?
Just a couple. You answered one of them. I was wondering how they put it on, and so it's sprayed on top of the existing structure, right?
Yeah, what they do is they'll go once the pool's drained, they'll go through, they'll find out any like weak or areas of the plaster that are delaminating or that need to come off, and they'll chip that out, repatch it. But for the most part, they try to keep that intact, so they don't have to bring in that extra, like, to refill it, because essentially they'd have to replaster it again. And if it's intact, it's a good substrate for them to apply their binder to. So it holds really well. So.
And I think you also answered another question. You said you could repair it. So let's assume it's 15 years down the line and it needs to be redone. How do they do it?
If they need to redo the whole pool shell,
Yeah.
then they'll cut it out and rip it out, much like they just saw cut it all, then pull it out in sections, then redo the process.
And lastly, well, two questions. Well, are these the only two options? Because when I redid my pool recently, my wife had this pebble stuff put on.
Yeah, that would be an option, but that's not typically acceptable for commercial pools just because it's rough on the feet. So they tend to use the polished pebble if they have it, and it's usually honed down. It's a little bit different.
Mine doesn't seem to be rough, but I guess it's whatever your opinion on roughness is.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was getting from agencies and whatnot.
All right. Lastly, what are we going to do with the water?
What are we going to do with the water? It's a good question.
Well, I know when they do my pool, they bring a tank out, and they pump it out and put it in the tank, and then when they're done, they pump it back in. So what are we going to do with the water in the pool? Are we going to just...
I think at this point, because we haven't drained the pool at all, it'd probably be best to discard it into, I mean, we could probably even put it into the pool, or I mean into the fields if it's not already saturated. We could do that.
Wait for the chemicals to
Yeah,
dissipate
yeah.
and then use it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I would hate to see that amount of water
I think our total
wasted.
dissolved solids are pretty high, so it would be a good opportunity to get rebalance our chemistry. So
Our water needs replacement too, huh?
yeah, it has a lot of mineral.
What a world we live in.
Yeah.
Your water wears out.
It's hard to flock out all those minerals that accumulate.
Okay, I'm good.
Well, Matt, I appreciate you going beyond the normal let's just do what we've always done sort of analysis, and appreciate that you've gone the extra mile here and come up with something that's bound to save us money over time, bound to make the pool look more attractive. When they do this, will they replace all the light fixtures too? Because those metal light fixtures have been hanging out in the water for 12 years. And
Actually, we just redid those about 6 years ago or less, maybe 8 years ago. And
so you can change those out.
Yeah, you could change
on
those
the
out
fly
at
if
any
you
time.
want. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I remember we did them when we did the pool.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
Then we've changed them out again since then. We changed the LEDs, right, Bob? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cheaper to run. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request for proposal and technical specifications for the Pleasant Valley Aquatic Center pool shell resurfacing and authorize staff to initiate the bid process.
For fiberglass.
Or fiberglass.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Director Magner,
Aye.
Director Mishler,
Aye.
Director Dixon,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Chairman Malloy.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Final item, 8E. Thank you, Matt. And it'll be okay with us if you can have that pool shut down as little as possible.
That's right.
Consideration and adoption of resolution number 599, nominating a board member, the local agency formation commission special district representative or alternate representative seat. Anthony.
Good evening, Chairman and members of the board, and I am very happy to be our last item on the new item list tonight. It is recommended that the board adopt Resolution 599 to nominate a board member for one of two special district seats on the Ventura County Local Agency Formation Commission. A little bit of background on LAFCO. LAFCO is an independent agency. created by the state of California, and it is responsible for discouraging urban sprawl, preserving open space and agricultural land, encouraging orderly governmental boundaries. It is currently composed of there's the list of members there, of a variety of members from different governmental agencies from around Ventura County, and one member of basically one member of the public chosen by the 6 other LAFCO commissioners. The highlighted members are those members whose term is expiring, and the way LAFCO is composed, there are independent special district members. However, there is a alternate seat that votes in case a special district member has to recuse themselves or is unable to attend a meeting. The 2 commissioners that terms are expiring are Elaine Freeman and Andy Waters. Andy Waters is the alternate member. And the board may choose to nominate a candidate for either seat or no candidate at all. If no candidate is chosen to be nominated, then the resolution does not have to be approved. However, it is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 599 to nominate a board member for one of 2 special district seats on the Ventura County Local Agency Formation Commission. Any questions?
So basically what we need is a volunteer.
Can I speak first, please?
Sure.
Elaine is running again, and I see no reason for us to nominate one of our board members to run against her. She has a very strong background in land use, and that's exactly what's needed on LAFCO. And I don't see any reason for us to put one of our board members up against her. I do not know Andy Waters, so I have no opinion there. So, but I would hate for us to be running against Elaine when she has such a strong background and has been an alternate and a board member on that for years. So.
To clarify, the board can choose to nominate someone for one seat or the other, so you can choose just the alternate or Elaine's seat, for example.
Okay. Anybody else? Dr. Dixon?
Was someone interested in this? I heard rumors.
Yeah.
I am willing to put my name out there for the alternate position.
Okay.
For the alternate.
Sounds like a volunteer to me.
For the alternate position.
For the alternate position. Okay.
I'd be more than happy to nominate Board Member Dixon as the alternate member candidate from our district.
Do we need a second? I'll second.
Yes.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Campaign speech?
Not yet.
Limited to 30 seconds tonight only?
This long list of.
Neil, you will need to submit a candidate statement.
Yes, I know. I did see that. Does it have to be right now? Okay.
Before you leave. Okay. Karen, please call the roll.
Director Magner?
Aye.
Director Mishler?
Aye.
Director Dixon?
Aye.
Director Kelly?
Aye.
Chairman Malloy?
Aye. 5-0. Congratulations. Happy campaigning. Okay. Now we're on to the final few moments of the evening. Informational items starting with me, Chairman Malloy. I will be very brief. I just wanted to thank staff for the great job they did on the Free July series of events. You did some stuff that worked. You tried some stuff we'd never done before. And you tried it in a way that it got a lot of visibility so that if people were interested in that, they could try it, and the things that worked, and the things that didn't. It was better planning than I ever could have imagined, but you guys do this for a living, so you did all that stuff, and I'm very impressed with not only how you did it, but how you reported it back to us. I went to a few of the events. They were a lot of fun, and it was really neat to have something going every day in July. The month was full of events, and the big thing in my life was being named by Pleasant Valley Historical Association to being a Doan, and along with 11 other Doans and Donias from Camarillo, which was really fun to get to meet a bunch of people that in the background do so much for our community, and they put on a terrific event at our community center, which looked great. And served the community well, and we had the good sound system working. I was just so paralyzed as I went up to give my speech that we'd have this horrible sound system and nobody would be able to hear me and everybody be wandering off. But everything worked exactly as it should. Made me very proud. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm sure some of the rest of you will be up there someday. And it was really a great experience. With that, we'll move on to item B, Ventura County Special District Association.
I'll be very short. We had a meeting at the new home of Rancho Simi Recreation and Park District, which is beautiful. I think it's 87,000 square feet. It was fascinating to go through. We also heard a very interesting guest speaker. She talked about grants. So Mary's got her name now. So we'll look at her. So I believe, I don't know, where are we meeting next?
Oh, I'm trying to confirm. I won't
Okay.
mention it now because it's
Okay.
not confirmed yet.
Okay. So we'll have a meeting in October.
October 2nd.
Okay, great.
CSDA?
CSD.
I've lived half my month in Sacramento, and the legislative body is now, everything that's been introduced has been introduced, and it's now moving forward to the governor's desk. We have been asked to send a letter of support for one of the bills, and we will be doing that at the special meeting in 2 weeks. I don't have all the details on that, but I'll give that all to Mary. I will also be sending you updates from the staff. I'll send it to Anthony, and he can get it to you on the take action briefs as bills are signed by the governor. We've got 2 or 3 sitting up there that we hope get signed, and we have 2 or 3 that we hope go down the drain. So we're watching them daily. But things are changing very fast. One of the things I would like to share with everybody, and I'm going to send it out to everybody, and I'm going to ask Mary to post it on our website, is the Special Districts Make a Difference campaign. They have their video campaign going on through the end of the month, and that has got 3 scholarships starting at $2,500, $2,000, and I think $1,500. 2 years ago, one of our young staff, temporary staff, was the winner of a $500 one. And I would hope if any of us have family members that are high school students, college students, if we have any of our temporaries or even our staff members who would like to do a 60-minute or 60-second video on what makes our special district make a difference in the community, then we would really encourage them to put in for it. So I'll get the information out. I'm also going to send the ACORN the press release, so maybe they would be able to give us a little bit of support on that too. So we're looking forward to a lot of videos. So we'll see what we can do.
Cool. Thanks, Elaine. Santa Monica Mountains. Mike?
There was no meeting since our last meeting. The next one that's scheduled will be coming up on September 24th, which I plan to attend.
Okay. Standing committees. Finance. I have good news. We are under budget on spending for the full fiscal year 2017-18 and over budget on revenue. My favorite 2 answers. And comfortably so on both, and in really good shape, and off to a good start in the first months of expenses for this year. But I was thinking as we looked at a couple of these things that we had to prove that were above estimates, or our CalPERS bill, unfunded liability bill, actually came in a little below what they had told us, so we saved a little money out of the budget there, and we're already off to a good start on finances. Liaison.
The liaison committee has actually met twice between our last board meeting and now. Our first meeting toward the end of July was not real great, but fortunately we had a much better meeting in August. We've made a lot of progress with the city, and we think we have a very clear indication from them that they have an interest in being involved in the financing and the planning of the community center that we want to build in the future, the committee has decided that we need to start moving forward with looking for a selection of an architect and possibly looking for someone who's experienced in financial analysis to help us figure out exactly what the Park District's capability is for raising funds to support this project. But it's pretty clear the city's on board. The exact amount, I think, is still a little up in the air. They floated a number out there, but I'm hopeful that they'll do better. So I'm very optimistic about the progress of the liaison committee.
Great. Personnel.
We met, and that was what our closed session was on earlier this evening. So that's all I have to report on it.
Okay. And policy.
Policy, we had a meeting. We got another one coming up. We're trying to grind through. We're making some progress. Neil and I kind of laugh, but we're making progress, and we're grinding through. We're coming up with various ideas or options to explore for relationships between us and the various community service groups and stuff. So we're making some headway on it.
Okay, foundation.
This is what I'm smiling about, and I'm smiling at. August 25th, we had an extremely successful annual party for the parks. We sold over 140 tickets to it. We had wonderful food and great entertainment by Caught Red-Handed. We made some, I think, headway in getting some sizable donors, making contact with 2 or 3 donors that could be making some sizable contributions to our project that we're currently working on. So we're really extremely happy about that. So, and once again, thank you to the Lambs for helping us put this together, and Bert for cooking and his crew of cooks. So we got 2 important fundraisers coming up. October 18th is Painting with a Twist. So if you'd like to go painting with us, well, we'd love to have you. I don't think we're full yet, but we could get there real fast. So that was a hot fundraiser for us last year. And then on December 8th at 8 a.m., just prior to the parade, we are going to do an Ugly Sweater 5K and the Donut Dash. And we do now have a sponsor for the donuts. So Rolling Pin is now on board with us officially as the sponsor for the Donut Dash. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay, explain to me how an Ugly Sweater Donut Dash works, because I've never actually been in one.
Well, I'm going to let Megan tell you that. So that way I have it all clear. If you don't mind, Megan, she can do that, can't she?
Well, it's a 2-part. You can do the 5K, which is the Ugly Sweater, or you can do the Donut Dash, which is also a 5K. But if you do that challenge, halfway through, you have to gobble down a dozen donut holes. And Rolling Pin is, yes, our sponsor, but they are going to make some special donut holes that aren't their regular ginormous size. They're going to make some special ones that are just for this race. And it'll be fun. So you eat your dozen donut holes, get back on the race course, and get back to the finish line so you can watch the Christmas parade.
Can we get sued for that?
No, not at all.
On what
signing up
grounds?
for it
I just
yourself.
got to hear this one. On what grounds?
Hey, I will say most of all of our signups so far are for the Donut Dash.
Yes.
Can we get the yellow cake with chocolate on top? Those are my favorite.
That's what you would like.
And you don't have to run it. You can walk it. There's going to be plenty of time for you to walk that 5K. You know, if you can run up to Rolling Pin, but you can walk back from the Rolling Pin. So we're looking forward to the fundraisers, so.
Sounds great.
Was there any idea how much money we made so far?
No, we will, they're putting together all of the finances. I think that we've still got some donations coming in, and we have, I think the treasurer needs to sign some more checks to pay out. So probably the next board meeting, we'll be able to tell you but we feel real good about it because we had such a good turnout. So, and we were missing one of our staff members who thought he needed to do something else that day. So congratulations.
Yeah, having a baby, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good out. You can have, you can have that one anytime. Yeah. Mary, General Manager's report.
Try and see if we can make this brief. Just a couple updates. Concrete slab, it has gone in at Arneal Ranch. So that's gone in right now, working on putting in the barbecues and the benches, along with, there'll be a couple trees that'll go in there as well. The roof at Bob Kildee currently is underway. West Coast arborists have completed grid pruning at Locker, Nancy Bush, and Valley Lindo, so they've gotten a good jump on that. We've had a couple large trees fall. Good news is it hasn't been on anybody, so we had one that went down at Cam Grove, so they'll work on getting that removed. And then we had one at Valley Lindo that was kind of along the canal, so that one has been pulled up and done. If you haven't been out Freedom Fields lately, the renovations out there have been completed. I know that they just opened last weekend, but the fields look really nice with all the renovations that have happened out there. Audit, I know Chairman Malloy just talked finances. We'll have an audit at the end of October, so we should hope to know what the final numbers are once that is done. As Director Magner just talked, I was this morning on a legislative call, not with CSDA, but with CARPD, which is the California Recreation and Parks. So as Director Magner said, there's a bunch of bills. There's probably about 12 different bills right now that are moving forward. The one concern that CARPD had was there's a bill, Senate Bill 946, that's moving forward with sidewalk vendors. And the concern with the sidewalk vendors right now is that right now everybody can kind of regulate the vendors that come in. With this bill, it pretty much says that it's going to be hard to regulate unless there's a health, safety, and welfare issue. So some of the concerns are now, are we going to have vendors in our parks and we're going to have limited ability to then actually have that, or we'll have limited ability to tell them they can't be there. So this is one of the bills that CARPD is kind of looking at, because the thought is when you go to a park, you shouldn't have to be bothered by all these vendors. So there's a slew of other ones that are on there, but as they come through, either Director Magner or I will kind of fill everybody in on what is passed and what hasn't. So,
Mary, on a question for that.
Yep.
I mean, in our parks, because of state law, for example, if someone wants to use one of our park facilities for some type of commercial gain, let's say the person is a tennis instructor and they want to have a tennis instructor class and they're charging kids or whoever, the students, to show up, and they're using one of our tennis courts, by state law, that's against the law, and we can charge them to do that. In other words, they can't just come in and use a public facility for free. Where I'm confused about, I guess you're going to find out about that later.
Yeah, so
I'm confused where if a vendor comes in, they can't just come in and use our facility for free.
So
that's where I'm confused.
Yeah. So one of the things I think the concern is with this one, they're looking at sidewalk vendors, and sidewalk vendors meaning more on the food truck side and that side of it. And so what this bill is kind of saying is that cities, park districts will have limited access, a limited ability to say you can't be in a park or on a sidewalk unless there's a health, safety, or welfare. So this is Senate Bill 946 that's going through. So CARPD is saying, hey, wait a second. This means that I could have, like, let's say right now Kona Ice could show up every day at the playground, and it would be hard for us to regulate them not being there. And so that's the concern, that now all of a sudden you're going to have these food vendors that are going to be showing up at playgrounds or in parking lots or all of those things that may be somewhat limited to be able to regulate. So, And I'll get more information, but I know that currently CARPD is sending a letter of proposal to that.
Can you ask the question that if everyone is required to get a permit, this law can't be given special status to, and I kind of know what's behind this, but if we require everyone to get a permit to sell on our property, does this bill mean that those people get some special right that other people don't have?
I think what they're trying to say is if everybody, so let's say they have to have a county permit. So if they have a county permit, we then can't say, well, you can't be here. So if there are certain permits they have to have, once they have those, we can't then come in and regulate who can and can't have that. So that's like right now, we can kind of dictate like, here's the hours or here's what we're going to do, or the only time we allow food vendors at our parks is typically when we say they're okay. What this bill is saying is that's going to take that out of the districts or the locals' hands and pretty much say if they're permitted by the county or whatever, that you don't have an option and they can come in whenever they want. Is what
Can you email me the material on that? Very much like to see that.
Sure. That's all I have for updates.
Well, as I said, there's always a new challenge coming out of Sacramento, but we'll get through it. Okay, last item, oral communications. Dr. Dixon.
Yeah, we already talked about the foundation event, but I just wanted to say that that was a really fantastic event, and thank you to our staff and to the foundation board members who are all volunteers. Spent a lot of time, put a lot of work in putting in a really great event. And I've been to a number of these kind of fundraising events over the years, and this is the best. Anybody who hasn't gone, who didn't have a chance to come this year, mark your calendars for next September. This is a really fun event, and it's a lot less expensive than some of those other events that go on out there that are not nearly as fun. So, to everybody who put this on.
I attended that event also, had a great time. My wife loved it also. She won a bunch of gifts. She's very lucky.
Your table was winning half the good.
And people were claiming it was rigged, but I can testify that it wasn't. She just wins a lot. But she also decided that she would like to volunteer to be on that volunteer board. And so if I'm that board, I would grab her because she's wonderful at everything. I think we need to get more young people out there, and I would trade the corn for beans. Thanks.
Elaine.
I will call Kathleen and invite her to our next meeting next week, so we'd love to have her. I have nothing else to say. Thank you.
Mike.
Hi. I want to thank the staff for the Mission Oaks girls softball playoff tournament stuff, the under U10 and under 12 age. I was out there with those teams and those people. They all had a great time. I watched some of the games and interfaced with all the people coming into our community. They liked the community and what we were doing and everything. Everybody was impressed, and talked to the organizers out there, and they're all happy and stuff. So I want to thank staff for all that. And it's nice to see. And people were surprised. People were coming down from Northern California and stuff and said, wow, this was nice. They just had a different vision of what was down here, kind of thing. Anyway, so I want to thank staff for all that. And second of all, I just want to mention that the first county oversight committee meeting coming up our first meeting will be September 26th. So on the next agenda for the information items, maybe you can add county oversight committee on that and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. So I'd like to thank Cameron for hanging in here for a 5-hour meeting and all the coverage that the Acorn provides to the district and all the things we do. We really appreciate it. And with that, we are adjourned.